Hello, I'm X Toy Cat, and about a year ago now, I decided to build a fully complete overworld inside of my Nether. I thought it looked pretty good, and then unrelatedly, I built a Nether inside of my End, complete with the Nether pillaging tower for whatever reason, and I also built the Nether in my overworld, and then I realized because of my giant End cube, I'd actually built a little bit of the End inside of my overworld too, meaning that all I had to do to complete the connections of building every dimension inside of every other dimension was to build an End in my Nether and to build an overworld in my End, which is why in today's video, maybe I embark on the dumbest project of my lifetime, and that's saying something when it's me. So I'm going to start here with the End inside of the Nether idea, because one of the most essential Nether portals in anyone's Minecraft world should be a Nether portal right next to your End portal, so you can use the Nether to effectively get to your End, because that's an important thing you're going to want to do at least a few times in the course of any Minecraft world, especially one like mine. And so if you go through the Nether portal, on the other side it's easy to access, but it also looks kind of ugly right now. I think you can agree, if you look at this, it's like, well, I mean, we've got some stone bricks and some Nether bricks, and so it's just a mess. And rather than having a mess, wouldn't it be nice if we had something specific and planned here? And so that's why I want to get rid of this. I've got myself a pickaxe. I'm going to be mining away all of these blocks right here and turning it into a little bit of a miniature End, or rather than being an End fully itself, I figured what might be fun is if it's an End like stronghold style room. So I'm going to get myself a lot of End bricks, and I'm going to duplicate this design right here. If you're worried about where I'm going to get the End stone brick to do something like that, don't worry. I've been mining End stone for so many hours in my world because I want to remove the external End islands. It's just one of those little goals that I've had, and so I've got myself a lot of End stone. I picked the chest of the least one. I've got myself a lot of End stone. Okay, hopefully you believe me now. Just kind of lying around here, ready for this very purpose. And my goal is to replicate this entire stronghold room, but made out of these End stone bricks that I have right here. And I think this should, at the very least, still look weird, and hopefully it'll be like a fun way to signify this is the way to the End portal room. And so now the goal is, in the Nether, to destroy as much of the blocks around here to make a big kind of open void area so that we can build the endstone brick stronghold room around it. So that was simple enough. I mean, it was actually kind of confusing because of all the blocks of netherrack that I destroyed and that fell into the lava, and also the exposure to gas that I've now got myself. But now what I have to do is rebuild the stronghold exactly, but using endstone bricks instead of regular bricks. So you can see this is where the lava would be, but my portal is. Then we build over to the other side. Over here, I think, is where the doorway would be. So we have like, oh god, I need to be a bit more careful. Maybe we'll build the floor for this first. But yeah, we're gonna now build out an exact stronghold replica, and we'll see how this goes. I'm eerily impressed by the fact that we made this thing, and when you go back to the overworld, it just looks like a stone brick copy rather than the other way around. I'd say the transition from overworld to End isn't so great, or, you know, overworld to Nether, I guess we're technically doing. But I really do like even though we had to improvise a lot of blocks, the fact that this does look like a stronghold in some way. I think making the entrance a bit better is probably a good idea too, because sure, I mean, like, even though this is the room itself, this is the portal I'm going to be using. This doesn't really have any use right now. It's just kind of some lava that exists right there, and same with this. So making the room a bit more useful is a good idea, and one big part that I think is making it more accessible, because the portal on this side has some nether bricks still hiding behind it that you might have spotted. What if we made it easier to get into the room itself, and what if we made the the stronghold fortress thing just kind of a nice little bonus? So that's what I'm going to do right now. I know this is true for a lot of things, but I'm halfway through this now, and it's just so ugly. The mixture of the yellow from the endstone. Can you call this yellow? I think you can call this yellow. The mixture of that yellow with the purple and the red, it just does not blend together in any definition of the word well. But that's fine. We'll just oh god, it's so ugly yellow. I don't know how to fix. I guess you know, it's fine. We'll just keep working and we'll hope it goes away. Every project looks really ugly about halfway through, but that's why you don't look at it. Don't look at things until you're done with them. You don't look while you're doing them. Okay, this is much more like it. It feels like we're flying through a weird end tunnel, and what happens when we fly through the weird end tunnel is we end up in the Nether portal, which magically takes our End fortress into a... That was weird. That delay. Into a overworld fortress, and then we go through the overworld fortress into the End, which now that I think about it does make sense. It'd make more sense if we flip them around. So if this was made out of endstone brick and the other one was made out of stone brick to show how it doesn't work. You know, should we do that? Should we let's not destroy the whole things and put them back together. But, you know, there's still a couple of things that are remaining, I would say. Firstly, I need to smooth out this entrance. As you can see, there's like some rough Nether in the background. I think that should be less visible. Also, if we go through and actually look at the stronghold room itself, you can see on the left side it looks mostly fine. It looks like what you'd expect if you were underneath the end island somewhere. But on the right side, it looks just a bit too nethery. And that's why, you know, given that I have so much endstone anyway, I'm going to cover this part of the Nether in some endstone. It's not a very big part of the Nether, but it will look more like a fiery end, I hope. Maybe it will just look bizarre, but we're going to entirely coat all the netherrack in endstone. How will that look? Probably not very good. Will that stop me? No. Oh, no. Oh, Lord. Oh, God, the worst thing possible happened while I was working on it there. And I just fell into the lava. But, again, be prepared. Always be able to turn into an elytra and fly out of the lava, and you might not die. Also, this is why we have a totem of undying. Otherwise, I would have lost all of this stuff, including 3 shulker boxes, all of the things I was working on, a couple of diamond pickaxes, a diamond hoe, my mending flint and steel, which I cannot live without. And you know, I'm just glad that it didn't happen, okay? Okay, it was simple enough to do, but let's see if it fixes that view problem or if it just looks even more weird. I mean, if it looks more weird, then, you know, actually, okay, you can see in the distance still clearly it's the Nether. Like, maybe we could build a giant wall to prevent that. But otherwise, the foreground, the thing people are focusing on, does look like a weird version of the end, with some extra obsidian. Which I guess does spawn in the end, but we should probably remove that too. One of my favorite things about 1.16, I know it's an old update now, but like one of my favorite things is Netherite, because Netherite plus efficiency 5 means you can mine obsidian, you know, the never mineable block, the one that takes all year to mine. You can mine it in just a few seconds, like it's a normal enough block. And there's just something so beautiful about being able to destroy an entire pathway this quickly. And there we go. Now we got rid of some blocks, and we've just got one more thing to fix, which is this. Right here. Also, actually, there's one other thing. Right here, you can see there's a corner that there shouldn't be. Boom. Gotta save on my obsidian costs. And that means that behind it, there probably should be some endstone bricks too. There we go. Nice and easy. And now, just this little gap between this and that, we can just cover it with endstone. Actually, I feel like it's part of the stronghold about here. So we're gonna make some endstone bricks and do it that way. And simply as that, we've made ourselves an end stronghold in the Nether. Why did we need to do it? I mean, honestly, even though this is a dumb way to do it, all of this is like over the top detail that like, you know, is anyone going to care about or notice? No. Is anyone going to care about your Minecraft world or notice it? No. That's like, you know, like you shouldn't be like doing this whole like, oh, it's got to be perfect. It's got to be the thing that impresses everyone, like I see in the videos. Just like build something that you think is fun, that fits into the purpose of your world. And ideally, if you think that's pointless, because I'll admit, like, you know, what's the point in building for yourself? There's objective fun and not fun, right? There's objective good builds and bad builds. And if you do want to build into that, then I think the most important thing is have a useful build. And that's why this build, regardless of what you can say about the way that it's constructed, and believe me, there are some words that I could employ to describe this, but regardless of what you think in that sense, okay, one block there, regardless of what you think about in that sense, it does have to be said this is useful. Now, getting to the end for me is slightly more, you know, it's slightly easier. As you can see, I've made it a little bit more cleaned up and trimmed around here, but as well as being easier, I've also now made it a bit more themic and a bit more like easy for anyone new to the world to tell this is my end portal, or my Nether end portal. Then we go to the overworld and we find my end portal. Although really, your end portal in your overworld is your overworld end portal, and it takes you to the end. Maybe we should make it so when we go through the end portal, we end up in a Nether end portal room. No, that's just too far. We should not do that. Okay, now it's time for the final part of this, the end project, because as you already know, this is my end. You might have seen it in some video or another. For some reason, people find it really wacky that I covered my end in glass. Apparently, that's not a normal project. And then to have dragons destroy it. You know, there's a lot of heartbreak when we look over at the glass end, but today we're heading along this blue ice pathway. So here you can see my very bizarre Nether inside of the end island. It's mostly there to have a way to light up this entire island. I think it has this really nice kind of red-yellow vibe to it. I like it. I like the pillager tower. I mentioned it earlier, but also I'm trying to make the overworld. So there's two parts to this overworld project. One is going to be this huge desert. I figured, you know, what's the most similar biome to an end island? I mean, there's no rain, and also it's very yellow. What other biome fits those descriptions? I think you'll find it's a desert. Also, that end gateway has appeared from nowhere. just now. I don't know how it got there. I don't know how this spawned freshly inside my Minecraft world. But that is brand new, and I'm very terrified that that can just happen. Anyway, so here you can see my plan here is actually to make a desert complete with a desert village. But because this is a made-up biome, you better believe we're going to be using a bizarre mixture of old, new, and made-up buildings. But also, you know, I want to have a smooth transition from these end islands around it to the overworld itself. And you know, there's only one solid way that I can think of to do that. And it relates to this 1,000-block-long pathway that I have between the end itself and between those islands. But you know, there's not too much to look at, especially with a low render distance. You can see glass and end, and you know, none of this yells overworld to me, which is why the second part of this overworld project, and that is a giant circular tunnel to represent a cave. Because if you go through a volcano to get from the overworld to the Nether, as indeed my project has proven, then logically speaking, you must also go through a cave to get to the overworld. This is just the rules that I'm now gonna spend a few hours or have spent a few hours, because, you know, this is a project video. We take a lot of time and we condense it into not too much so you can watch it and hopefully enjoy it. I have this transition between my end and between what is overworld, and I feel like, you know what it needs? You know what this gap needs? It needs a tunnel. It needs a magical tunnel that takes you from the end, like I said, to the overworld. So just about here, actually just before here, wherever the realm's render distance won't see anything in front of it, I want to build a big old tunnel, and somewhere just below the center, I want to have this. In fact, actually, there's a fun little way you can, you know, calculate this if you really want to. But I want to have, like, the center of the tunnel be, like, fairly... I want this tunnel to go very high up, and this to go very low down. You'll understand why that is later. Block 75 down here is where the first bit of stone needs to go. So from that, we can logically conclude... Okay, let's place some blocks over here. Then we're going to place our... Oh god, this is very nerve-wracking to do. I don't like that I'm doing this, but I'm going to place my shulker box filled with stone here. I'm going to grab a bunch of that. And now replace this as the 75th block with the top of the tunnel. And now it's going to go, if it's 13 blocks on either side. You know, we're going to need some maths for this, I think. So now we want to go down 9 blocks. So if this is 57, and that went up to... What did that go up to? That went up to 75? 85? Wait, did I go too tall? Yeah, it should have gone up to 75. It did go up to 75. So 75 minus 27 is... What is that? 48. So we go 8 blocks down. I'm very, very nervous about doing this. Having to jump over the little guard here too. Is there a safer way? Not that I see. Oh, I don't like this at all. And what we do is we place blocks downwards from here. Okay, we're alive. Until we hit to 48, right? No, 48. And we'll see if the pattern duplicates correctly. There is a genuine chance it might not, and we've got a horrible mistake, but that's fine. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And then inwards, and then 1, 2. And then inwards. Oh, that doesn't work, does it? And then 1, 2. And then I think it's like, what, like 2 individual blocks? Maybe it was a third one. Oh, God. Oh, yeah, and it turns out, regardless whether it's a third one or not, we've got a mistake on our hands, so we're going to assume it's not. And then, oh yeah, we're 1 block too high or too low. I did a miscalculation somewhere. And, ooh, yeah, that's uncomfortable. Okay, it's been just over 4 hours of stone placing. I mean, it took some time to even get the basic structure in place, but now we have it. We even turned it into, which I think is this cute little peace sign. But even after all of those 4 hours of placing stone in the void, it's, you know, it's not the prettiest of work to do. Even after that, I feel like, especially because you're going through on a boat, look how fast you go through this. It's like, oh yeah, it's like 5-10 seconds. I at the very least want it to go all the way to this edge point here, so it feels like you're leaving the tunnel for a purpose. And so you know what that means? We're spending a few more hours extending the tunnel, which is fine. You know, big projects in Minecraft, pretending they happen in no time is something I have a big irk with other YouTubers doing. Like, you know, spending time playing Minecraft is what you've got to do to make these things. If you want smaller projects, do that. If you want a big project, you've got to commit. And so I'm committing to more stone for more hours to make this tunnel slightly more long. And so we're going to do that, as you're going to see right now in these fun little clips that we condensed 2 hours into. So today I'm going to be doing, I would like to believe I can do this all in one stream, but again, I've learned about making predictions about that sort of thing. Today I'm going to be extending this stone tunnel over here, over to here, and then making a sandstone tunnel that goes that way. This is going to be interesting because I want it to be like, you know how there's weird, like sub-tunnels on a thing? Like, this is a bad explanation, but you know how like, when a tunnel branches off into like subpipes and they're slightly smaller and different? No? Okay, you know. How about we just do it and then I explain from there. So yeah, what we're gonna do is we're gonna start by extending that this way, and then somewhere on that we're gonna start like the top of the tunnel. It's gonna be messy, okay? It's gonna be kind of crazy, but I'm looking forward to it anyway. Okay, so yeah, we're gonna build our circle around this now. And I don't know how we should smoothen a circle into another. Honestly, I've never built 2 colliding circles in Minecraft before. Is that embarrassing? Should I not admit that? You know what? I have a big confession to make today. I've just never built overlapping circles. I don't entirely know how this works. I don't know how it's meant to work either. So we'll place a stone block here just so we know to get rid of it. And then 7 blocks up, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And then a stone block there too. No, we'll just place a torch on the side. And then you can place on the side of that. Easy stuff. Oh god! There's some stone up there. That's probably a bad thing. Then a couple of blocks of this. And then, I guess some stone goes here. Oh lord, what are we doing here? What are we doing here? This is a good question that I don't have an answer to. Maybe I should have started over there, like 2 blocks forwards. Because the way this is colliding right now is a nightmare to me. Oh yeah, is this, you know, let's look at it from the outside. Do you think we've done a good circle here, chat? Do you think we did okay here? Yeah, I think that's actually, like, probably definitely a few blocks forwards. But I think we didn't do terrible. I was expecting terrible, and I got okay. Which is a big upgrade. Anyway, so I've run out of sandstone for the day, but I do want to get your feelings on this tunnel. Tell me your thoughts on it, chat. Again, I'm glad I didn't insist it could be done today. I think it looks pretty cool. Okay, I'm going to jump off the edge here. Oh, it took a second for the elytra to activate. What do you reckon about my tunnel? It doesn't join perfectly. Like, I wish it joined better. From the outside, it looks kind of rough. Okay, here it is after another 2 streams and over 3 hours of placing sandstone, plus the hours it took to mine that sandstone. We now have a second tunnel. This one's made of sandstone, and I just really love, I can't get over this. The way they connect together, I just enjoy that for reasons I can't fully describe. And it's nice, right? I've got some overworld inside my end in the form of these giant tunnels that go on as far as the eye can see. And by the eye, I mean realm's render distance. It could be infinite for all we can tell. But you know what? Just leaving this open to the void, it doesn't seem good enough. And that's why I want to do one last thing here. And that final thing that we have finally accomplished is this big glass screen, and behind that glass screen is a little bit of a mushroom biome. The reason for the mushroom biome, I mean, first of all, I feel like it fits well with the theme of this video, and indeed the theme of the builds I've been working on over the last month. It's another overworld biome here in the end, but I also feel like one of the things that's important, especially if you're playing in a world for a really long time, that people won't mention because it's not flashy or that exciting. In fact, it's not that mentionable everywhere, but having like the possibility to extend in the future is a really great thing to do if you know you're likely to get creative and want to place something somewhere. So having a spot that's perfect for something brand new is a really great idea. And take, for example, this mushroom biome. Right now, it just kind of exists here. It's a bunch of mycelium. It's a nice little platform to actually look at the 2 tunnels from, and I feel like that has a value by itself. But also, at some point, I do want to have like a 5,000 block minecart pathway going through the end. I think that could be beautiful. And if I was going to start that, here would be an ideal starting place, or either here or there. Or you could have a minecart between them that goes that way. I feel like there's a lot of fun ideas that I can work with from here, and this is just a really nice viewing point that can later become the start of something new. And so, speaking of the start of something new, I think we've finally reached the end of this video, and so the end of something old, question mark. Is this video old? I mean, depending on when you're watching it, this could be a very old thing, or you could be a very old thing, and this could be the young thing by comparison. But the important thing is not the relative age of things. What matters is the character of your hearts, and indeed the character of your Minecraft builds. which I hope are very good. I hope you do some absolutely delightful things in Minecraft. I like making these videos to maybe inspire you, because let's be honest, I don't make the best Minecraft builds, but I feel like sometimes putting a lot of work in something, you don't have to make something perfect. You just have to make something that you enjoy, and I really enjoy every time, because over the last month that it's taken me to finish this last bit, I've enjoyed like just going through the end every single time. It's fun to go on a boat journey across the end. Oh, by the way, the end now is fixed even, so both of these end rails are in place. And just, yeah, I really love my new end. I love these changes I've made here. I love the changes to my Nether, and I love the changes to the overworld, where indeed I'm creating an end biome. Also, because, yeah, as it just so turns out, building in Minecraft is fun, and maybe these project videos inspire you to do more of that. Or maybe they don't. I don't know. I'm not your boss or your dad. And so in exchange for your kind watching of this video, I simply say, thank you for watching, I hope you'll enjoy, and if you want to slightly reduce your risk of house fires, perhaps consider a subscription to the IBX Toycat YouTube channel, because I'll see you all in the next one. Oh, and also, if you want to download this world, it's available on the marketplace, and the new builds will be there for the 1.17 update, which, like all of the other updates to this world, will be free, coming out in the next few months. So if you want to explore all of my previous builds before this happened, you can do that. And if you want to explore these brand new builds, there'll be a free update coming out later this year. I'm excited for it. Maybe you should be too. Or maybe the only thing to be excited for is the end itself. Goodbye. That was weird. Can't say I was expecting that. Could have saved me from death if I dug down beneath myself, though. So sometimes lag has its benefits. I'm a professional. See? Turned almost dying into a teachable moment. Basically, a teacher. With a lot of extra concerning comments and communism. But you're not basically a teacher anyway.